one of the supplies that the Holy Spirit gave to Jesus was wisdom. And it was wisdom that produced that prescription that he should fast and pray. It was to advertise the center or the battleground. The battleground was going to be in his soul. And nothing weakens the soul like deprivation. So for 40 days and 40 nights, even though by design, the soul of Jesus, like your own, is supposed to be able to say, I want to eat now. That's a decision from the soul. I want to take Coke now. I want to take yogurt now. The wisdom of the Spirit, backed up by his supply, helped Jesus to say no to his soul for 40 days and 40 nights. After that time, the soul had lost the will to govern. And so every time the enemy came and spoke through his soul, the spirit had gained ascended stature to be able to say, this is what is written. So that you fell into a temptation does not mean that you have not been praying or fast. It doesn't mean that you don't know the Bible. But if your soul is still strong, you will not win. So he said, sir, but that's the same thing we are doing, and we are not winning. I now said, the next thing in the dynamics of that temptation is to look at the quality of Jesus' soul and your own. He that knew no sin. So if you check the fabric of Jesus' soul, the soul of the Christ had no consciousness of sin. Never committed sin before. So his soul was not a cracked soul. And there are certain sins that I can mention here, that by the time I mention 3 things, you will think that you are like the Christ. Because there are people who it's possible to still get married and never having slept with anybody before. It is possible that you are here, you've never tasted or experienced the joy of stealing before. I know you don't think it's joyful. The reason why people continue stealing is because there's a joy that comes with it. And then he laughs. There's a joy that comes from owning things without sweat. If Satan tempts you, Tosin, you've never stolen before, to pick somebody's biro, the capacity to say no is higher than someone that has stolen all his life. His soul is fractured. So, if you are being tempted now to steal, if you pray and fast, you will survive. When Jesus was going to prescribe the antidote to temptation, and that's what I found, he did not tell his disciples to pray and fast. What did he tell them to do? Why did he change the template? Is the secret. The only common thing on both sides, I'm not saying don't fast though, but I'm saying if the master taught that subject differently, we cannot be smarter than Jesus. Are you with me? What he advertised was prayer and fasting, and he prevailed. But he did not teach that to his disciples. And the Bible is a perfect book. He said, watch and pray. That's your prescription as a disciple. Meanwhile, there are portions that have to do with fasting, so that you will not fall into temptation. Why? He left it there for us. He said, for his spirit is willing, it's the flesh that is weak. When he speaks of a weak flesh, it's broken flesh. So the way to help it is that you watch. And the watching is not with spiritual binoculars. It's that you function within a disciplined environment. If you know that there is ease of picking other people's things, tell everybody to clear their house when you are coming. If there's no substance, you won't be tempted. If you like sleeping with everything that you see, stay in an environment where that is not possible. If occasion now throws you into the environment, the God that you serve will rush to save you. You can't have history and then stay in the environment of history claiming potency. Your fall will be that you have not obeyed Jesus. You can kick your plate aside. When you stop watching, you'll be weak. I've shared in this house many years ago, a portion of my life, struggled with pornography. Even now, on my phone, I have apps that lock out the possibility of pornography. Sometimes I'm doing video call with my wife and she's in the house, so she tries to wear a singlet. The app will warn me, if you look at that person you are looking at for another 3 minutes, I will lock down this app for 1 day. My wife, this is my wife. Because the app has no emotion. To say, no, if you see this face, it is my wife. No. Do I still have that struggle? No. But do I need to be careful? Yes. Because my soul knows it.